What kind of philosophy do you two use as being leaders of the community and of the school system here? You must have some kind of philosophy or some kind of a arrow that you point at.
You know, much of my thinking around leadership is embedded in several different people, but those that have influenced me the most in terms of their writings and their work are W. Edwards Deming, the former, now deceased, quality expert that went to Japan after the close of World War II and helped Japan rebuild their economy by empowering them through his philosophy of quality. And basically it's steeped in a fundamental principle that you need to embed continuous improvement into your work ethic, and that you just simply don't benchmark at the end of the process, but you need to benchmark your work right along that entire continuum, and then and only then do you know if you're achieving your goals. Another heavy influence in my thinking is Stephen Covey. And Stephen has become rather popular over the last decade for his work when he initially wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he went on to write 2 additional books about principle-centered leadership, and another one having to do with his first principle, which is first things first.
Right.
And Covey has done a lot to help me think through not just the process, but how do you then take people and create within the people within the organization that desire for continuous improvement, the ability to motivate those people towards that end, and having an understanding that it begins with an inner self, and the inner self has to be you have to be okay with who you are, Larry. You have to be satisfied with who you are becoming, and until you reach that point of self-esteem, you're not going to be as productive as you need to be, either in your personal life or your family life or your work life. And finally, Peter Senge, a lot of what we do around looking at how we organize ourselves for higher levels of productivity while maintaining the quality, while investing in the people. Senge talks a lot about how you take that and build a matrix so that it becomes and so that you become a vibrant, effective organization. So, those 3 authors probably have done a lot to help shape the evolution of my philosophy over time.
And that's reflected in some of the articles that you've written for the Salem Observer. Is that right?
Yeah.
I was very interested in the fact that you also mentioned Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah, Herbert Maslow obviously has talked about over time the pyramid, and the pyramid being his hierarchy of needs, and that the first level of needs for anyone, whether it again is in the family or in the organization, generally starts with those physical kinds of needs, and until you satisfy those, you can't move on to the next level in terms of really developing yourself with high level, high skill, high task, and looking at career outcomes and really building relationships even within your family. So there is a sense, as someone said to me one time, there is a sense of spirituality in much of what I talk about, and it isn't just about the nuts and bolts of leading an organization, but it's about how do you increase the potential of the human capacity within that organization, but keep the organization focused on its target. We're very much involved in strategic planning, and our strategic plan is based upon a lot of the Deming philosophy in terms of continuous improvement. But our mission statement talks about us being a dynamic organization dedicated to lifelong learning. And so much of what I need to do as the CEO of the organization is to say the proposals, the programs that are coming before me, either for evaluation or for initiation, how do they advance that mission? How do they bring value to that organization? So whether we're talking about a change in a curriculum initiative, even at the elementary level, what's going to be the outcome as we look down the line? Will it end at grade 5, or will it end at some other point? Will it give our young people who are graduating from Salem High School better tools and skills to make choices at the next level, which is one of our values within our strategic plan, is that our job is to educate every student who leaves here so that they can make choices at every level of their life, and good choices, and not simply have doors shut because they have not had the opportunity to gain the tools necessary to market themselves wherever that might be, whether it's higher education, whether it's a job, whether it's in a personal relationship with someone, and they want to, begin a life with a significant person, another significant person, and start a family. So it's, I guess I see it as a rather global responsibility here. That, and so much of what I also talk about really is good citizenship, and bringing bringing benefit to the community in which you are going to live, whether it's Salem or someplace else.
Excellent, excellent.